Hello, beautiful creatives. So this is probably the hardest video that I have ever made in my history of making YouTube videos. But those of you that follow me on my Facebook studio page and on Instagram know that we had to put our beloved Nico to sleep on last Friday. And I didn't make a video that Saturday, obviously. He had declined really fast over the last week or so, and he was having trouble breathing, and it was very clear. It was very clear what needed to be done. It was excruciatingly hard. I talked about it in much more detail, and I talked about the ceremony that we did for his burial and all of the rituals that we included in that. It was profoundly important to us and very healing. We wrapped him in a cashmere shroud. I picked sage that was flowering in our garden and made a bouquet and laid that on top of him. I anointed him with frankincense oil. And we burned a smudge stick with a barred owl feather over him in the grave, and lots of prayers. And we brought his brother Toshi with us, and so that he could be aware of what was going on. And it was heartbreaking. It was an absolutely beautiful ceremony, but it was heartbreaking. And we grieved really hard. I actually had to take a tranquilizer the day we brought him in to be put down. I was so distraught. I'm pretty much homebound, and I mean, I've been homebound for a while. I always say pretty much, but I don't get out. And he was my constant companion, and I loved him dearly. So I just couldn't get a video done last week. And what I ended up doing was by the time I was able to get back up to the studio, I had decided that I needed to paint through it. I needed to do an intuitive painting with, to help ease some of my grief. And I really wasn't sure if I wanted to video it or not. But what I thought in the end was, I do talk a lot about how this channel isn't just for people with chronic illness and chronic pain. It's also for people with other life challenges like grief. And I thought, if I can't demonstrate for you guys what it's like as I move through my own grief, I mean, that would be a really powerful thing to share with you guys, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I did film it. And yeah, I'm going to share that with you. I don't talk during it. I just play music and do a little reflection on Nico's life. So yeah, tough video to make. It's been a really tough couple of weeks. Ready to move forward and create some, more exciting content for you guys. And yeah, I hope if you're someone who's grieving, whether you're grieving over a human that you loved or an animal that you loved, I have so much empathy for you. It's a brutal process, and there's no way around it. You have to go through the different stages of grief. And that's what Dawn and I are doing. We're just moving through each stage as it comes. And then you kind of go 3 steps back, 1 step forward a little bit as you progress through it. But I hope watching me go through this intuitive painting process is helpful for you. Yeah, and I will talk to you in the comments. I am way behind on responding to the comments you guys have left me on Instagram and Facebook. After a few days, I did try to go back and respond, or at least click like on a lot of the comments. And you guys were so incredible with your support. I'm sure that I've missed a lot of comments, but I did read them. I read every single one. And I feel that if there's a lot of comments on this video too, I will definitely over the next week, as I'm able, read each comment. I don't know if I will be able to respond to each one, though. It's still very emotional. So yeah, here's this video. It's a gift from my heart, allowing you guys into this process, very private, very personal, very painful process that I went through, but I did want to invite you into it because I know a lot of you have written to me that you're grieving and that you're grieving hard over the loss of parents, spouses, children. You've shared your stories with me, and it's a great honor to be able to share this depth of emotion with you. Okay, guys, here's the video. I'll see you next week. Hey guys, I'm just sitting down here because my husband and I are having such a horrific day. We just buried Nico yesterday, and I don't feel like being here. I don't feel like being in my studio. I don't feel like painting. My husband has been in bed for the last half of each day yesterday and all day today so far. He's so steeped in grief. I just realized I forgot to put my microphone on. Oh well. He's so steeped in his grief. He can't even get out of bed. So I know that I need to be here. I know that I need to do some sort of a creative process to help me move through this. So I'm not going to talk. Not even sure I'm going to film the whole thing. But what I do want to do is these are Nico's medicine charts from all the months that he was sick. Day and night he was on tons. There's tons of these pieces of paper. Day and night. We had to keep track of each different medicine that he was on, and as the doses got higher and higher, I'm sorry, I'm so sad. So what I want to do, I told them not to throw them out. I told them to save them because I am going to put them down. I'm going to tear them all up. I mean, there's tons of these sheets. And I'm going to tear them up and I'm going to collage them into my sketchbook and then just do some expressive, intuitive art on top. May just turn out to be a totally black page because that's how I feel right now. I'm going to take these lists of horrible pills that we had to shove down his throat day and night, and I'm going to transform them. I'm going to bury them under paint and transform them into some kind of expressive art. Okay, I'll flip the camera around. Like I said, I kind of doubt that I'll film the whole process, but I'll show you a little bit of the beginning of a collage, and then maybe I'll just do little clips later on. I don't know, I'm going to kind of play it by ear, but yeah, okay, let's get creating. This is what processing grief looks like in real life with art. Here goes. Before I start tearing up these pages and putting them on my sketchbook pages, I just thought I would show you the weather outside, and it's so befitting our mood. It's just miserable, dark and raining outside. So this is my saying goodbye to all these horrible medication tracking sheets, and my sweet boy doesn't have to take any pills anymore. Okay, so I have everything glued down, and I just called Don up here to look at it because I wanted him to experience the relief of having these papers shredded and glued down, and he absolutely loved the idea of this being transformed into something else. And we sort of looked over the different piece about new meds, give pain pill late as possible and early as possible. That was because his pain was flaring at night and he was in a lot of pain in the morning. So I would stay up sometimes, try to stay up till 11 or 12 at night, which is so late for me, to give him a late pill so he wouldn't be in pain in the morning. You know, pain, logging all the different medications and times that he got them. Pain. It's just horrible, you know, steroids, when he got the steroids, when he got the pain meds, when he got his other meds. So that's the shredded pieces, and now I'm just going to go into some expressive art. I have some paints left over on my palette. I have a lot of things at hand. I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm just going to do it really intuitively. I've got, you know, like Stabilo, Neocolor inks, no idea, Senex gouache, and then I have this box of collage pieces from that Peggy Kroll Roberts workshop or class that I did. So I'm just gonna sit and be quiet and see what I feel like doing as a next layer. So this is how far I got during this sitting, and it started to feel a little overwhelming, so I'm going to stop here for now and I'll come back to it. But painting Nico was hard, so I'm going to stop here. I have no idea where it's going, no idea what the flying turtle represents, but yeah, this is just where it's gone so far, and I'll come back to it when I feel a little more refreshed and see if there is anything else that wants to show up, or if that's it. There's my boy, connected to a green turtle, connected to some kind of net. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so this is actually a couple of days later. I wasn't able to get back to this for a couple of days, so I am just gonna keep going a little bit. I don't feel like there's gonna be a whole lot more done, but I don't know. I'm just gonna sort of sink into the process and see what happens. Okay, guys, this is where I feel like it's done. And I'm really, really pleased with it. I didn't feel terribly sure where it was going. And Don had said he didn't want me to cover that chaotic background up. And I had to remind him that it was an intuitive painting. And that, you know, although I normally really appreciate his sharing his thoughts with me, this was a process painting. And I needed to not have things put into my head about it. I needed to let it go where it was meant to go. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. I think Nico just feels so free, you know? This angel turtle is sort of pulling him out into the universe, and this gold thread is tangled up in the web that probably comes back down to me on the earthly plane. I kind of feel like this represents the veil between both worlds. Yeah, I'm real pleased with it. I love the transparent ultramarine blue allowing the background to come through, the sort of chaotic universal energy to come through. I'm surprised and pleased. You know, it was a good session. It was a really good couple of sessions working on this over the period of a few days. I needed a break in between, but and I'm glad I took the break. I'm glad I didn't push it. So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you find it helpful, and that even when you don't feel like showing up and it feels unbearable to show up, that you can show up. You don't even have to paint something as visually pictorial as this, as narrative as this. Literally just smearing paint on the page. And I've done that. I've showed you journals where I have literally just smudged paint on pages and grabbed Neocolor and Stabilo crayons and just scribbled on pages. That is just as powerful as having this visual narrative painting show up. I just have been doing this for so many decades that it usually ends up with some sort of visual thing coming up. But like I said, for really strong emotions, especially hurt and anger, scribbling is the best for me. I don't even need an image to come up. It's just scribbling. Thank you so much for sharing this process with me. Thank you for all your kind, supportive comments. We really felt the love coming through on Instagram and Facebook. It really helped our hearts a lot. You guys have been a wonderful support to me. And I know that you'll miss seeing Nico in the studio. And yeah. So this is the grief video. I'm sure that by next week, things will be feeling better and things will be a bit brighter. It's a process. Okay, guys, take care. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And have a really wonderful week. I hope you are able to dip into your creative practices this week. God bless. I'll see you next week. Bye.